Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner, who joins me live now from Studio A. And Brooks, what's the latest with Hurricane Erin as it continues to move?
So Garrett, Erin is strengthening a lot. So it's gone into a process called an eye wall replacement cycle over the last 24 hours. It reached Cat 5 strength this weekend. It's about 700 miles away from us. It's going to curve away. We're not going to get hit by this thing. But it weakened a little bit as far as the max sustained winds as it went through that replacement cycle. All part of the normal wave hurricane science. It starts with a little eye. Eye wall replacement cycle comes in, gets a big eye, and then the wind field expands. So it's gone from a 5-mile wide eye to now about a 35-mile wide eye. Yeah, it's gone from 5 miles to 35 miles, and the wind field has expanded outwards. Now that it weakened to 125, now it's back up to 140. It's not only strengthening as far as the wind field size, but now the strength. And so categorically, even though this is now a Cat 4 hurricane, it's not a Cat 5, it's a more powerful hurricane as far as its overall output of energy, and it's a huge wave maker. And we feel very lucky that this is not making any inroads toward Florida and that it will not hit us, because we'd have a big problem here locally if it did. This is going to be a really big hurricane. It's only getting stronger over the next several hours. 140-mile-per-hour winds, the latest 11 a.m. update. This is brand new, and it's moving west-northwest at 10 miles an hour, so the forward speed has slowed down a little bit, and that's all part of the recurve as it's set to curve out to sea. That curve really beginning tomorrow, and that's when it will pass us at our latitude as about a Category 3 hurricane, but well offshore, more than 500 miles. So we're not going to have any direct impacts, but we will get a lot of wave action. Ultimately, this is going to thread the needle between the U.S. and Bermuda, amazingly avoiding any land masses, including the Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas. So this could have been a lot worse for some places over land. Now, this will affect shipping lanes. There are hundreds of ships out here. Everybody in the open waters, the cargo ships, cruise ships are all getting out of this thing's way because the seas could be higher than 50 to 60 feet over the open Atlantic. Now, the computer models are in agreement of the turn, so there's a very overwhelmingly high confidence that this thing will turn. There's a lot of weather factors surrounding the system that will influence that curve, including high pressure over the Gulf, as well as a trough across the Northeast. So another way to visualize this is to look at how big the wind field is, and where you see the yellows, this is hurricane force wind. The red is once you get into those major hurricane force winds. On the backside, these lighter colorations reflect tropical storm force winds. We will have a breezy day tomorrow at the beach, winds about 25, maybe 30 miles per hour in gusts, but by and large, the heaviest winds staying well offshore, with the exception of the Outer Banks of North Carolina, where there could be wind gusts over 45 miles per hour and waves breaking at the beaches there on the Outer Banks over 20 feet. And so they've actually evacuated Ocracoke Island as well as other parts of Dare County out here on the Outer Banks. If you've ever been there, it's only about 100 to 500 feet wide in stretches, this little spit of sand. So it doesn't take much for these waves to really cause beach erosion damage and pretty much take out the only road through the Outer Banks, which is Highway 12. So they've evacuated that, and it'll continue to curve off just a huge storm and then become a non-tropical system as it heads into the North Atlantic. So as far as effects here go, is indirect effects, but very significant effects. Very significant effects if you have beach plans, is that it's going to be extremely dangerous to the beaches. We're going to have waves about 8 to 12 feet, breaking waves beginning tomorrow. Today, the seas will start to rise about 2 to 4 feet, but then just strong rip currents. It may be the kind of thing where local lifeguards at some of the beaches decide just to close the beach to swimmers. Only experienced surfers should go out. Tomorrow, the waves are going to kick up, and also the wind. We're going to see gusts between 20 and 30 miles an hour at the beaches. So it'll be a breezy day tomorrow, and you'll kind of notice that change in the air. Unusual in the summertime to have a northeast wind of any kind of speed, much less 15, 20 miles an hour sustained with higher gusts. So it's going to be a breezy day. Also, tropical moisture in place, which is going to create a lot of thunderstorm activity this afternoon, is going to be replaced with drier air wrapping around the circulation of Erin as it passes by. You can see on the map, actually, Erin on the edge of the map here, and the drier air wrapping into central Florida. So Tuesday and Wednesday will have lower storm chances, and you may notice in the afternoons that it feels a little less humid outside. There may be a little break in that humidity. It's still going to be muggy, but it won't be super jungle muggy as it's been with this August weather. All right, so that's Erin. Another one we got to watch is out here. It's this tropical wave moving west. It's a really low latitude right now. It's just several degrees above the equator. And that is something we got to watch carefully, because as it tracks westward, the National Hurricane Center says inside of this orange area is where it may develop. This is not a cone of track. This is just where it may develop, but it'll be farther south. Erin was up here. This is the Lesser Antilles, and this is Puerto Rico. This could bring impacts to Lesser Antilles and to the Caribbean. in about a week and a half from now. And if it does head that way, we'd have to watch it very carefully here. But a tropical depression could form. The next name on the list is Fernand. All right, locally right now, we've got a couple of showers popping up there in Palm Coast, just off of the beach on I-95. And we're going to see that threat of rain developing about 4 to 6 p.m. in Orlando before the axis of rain heads west toward dinner time and beyond. So we have about a 60% chance of rain today. Lightning is going to be another big threat, as we've had in the last couple of days, as well as some gusty winds. 93 the high today in Orlando, 93 in the Villages, and a 7-day forecast for Central Florida featuring breezy conditions tomorrow as Erin passes by, moving east of us about over 500 miles. 40% chance of rain, those lower rain chances thanks to the drier air wrapping in behind Erin. And then we're going to see rain chances increasing yet again to about a 60% chance as the system moves away and its drying influence departs. So we'll get back to our typical summer weather. But yes, Garrett, we are quite literally dodging, you've heard the term dodging a bullet. We're dodging a cannonball from this one.
Yeah, thank goodness. I tell you what.
Absolutely.
All right, Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner, we appreciate you joining us.
My pleasure as always. Thank you.
Give you a live look right now at Daytona Beach from our Hard Rock hotel camera. You can see, and throughout the morning, the waves, it does seem, have already been starting to grow in size there. I know Fox 35's Marley Capper has been out there throughout the morning as well. She spoke just a little bit ago with Volusia Beach Safety Ocean Rescue about what people need to know as the Atlantic coast of Florida begins to feel the impacts from Hurricane Erin with those breaking waves and the rough surf that Brooks was talking about.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, once we got down here, we have a better look and we can see, one, it's beautiful out, but we can see how much bigger these waves are getting. They're just growing by the hour. So let's bring on Chief of the Volusia County Beach Safety, Miss Tamara Malphorus. How are you doing this morning?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing so great, Tammy. It's good to see you. Unfortunately, we have some not so great things to talk about this morning. Deadly rip currents potentially. Can you first, you were out here surfing this morning. Can you tell us about the conditions out here today?
Yeah, like you said, the surf is growing by the hour. When I came out here this morning, it was kind of flat and we had some surf coming in, but as the day goes on, we're going to see bigger surf, and as the week goes on, we're going to see larger surf and hazardous rip current conditions throughout the weekend into the next weekend.
You know, we get a lot of visitors here. I even see some people that are visiting as well. You know, they might not know how to measure a wave. So if somebody's watching and they're visiting, how can somebody measure the waves? Obviously, if it looks too big, it's probably too big, but what would you tell people of how to kind of determine if a wave is too big or not?
Well, the first thing you need to do is swim in front of a staff lifeguard tower. Talk to that lifeguard. They can tell you what to do to be safe for the day. They can tell you where you can swim and where not to swim. If you come to the beach over here in Volusia County, we have a great beach app that you can download on your smartphone, and that has real-time information, so you can find out where those towers are located before you even come over for the day.
I mean, that's the safest thing to do. Of course, we want to make sure that you're staying in front of those staff towers. Now, we expect that the waves are going to start getting bigger around Tuesday morning or afternoon through Thursday morning, potentially up to 6-10 feet. I know that any surfers watching are probably super excited, but even the strongest of surfers kind of underestimate the power, because this isn't just a normal sweet swell, right? This is power of a hurricane bringing this in. So what would your words of advice be to, you know, even experienced surfers wanting to try to tackle these waves?
Just be very cautious, be very careful. If you are a new or novice surfer, now and this week is not the time to come out and try to practice surfing. So just be aware of that. Just know that we're going to have some powerful rip currents and powerful waves coming in the next few days. So just be very cautious. And I would just say now is not the time to try to learn how to surf, you know.
Definitely. All right. Always good to see you, Tammy. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Let's get one last look of the waves here, because they are getting bigger and bigger and stronger. So again, make sure to download the Volusia County Beach Safety app, swim in front of the lifeguard towers. And if you just want to be the safest, maybe avoid the water or don't go more than waist deep. You want to make sure that you can feel comfortable and safe in these waters. But for now, something's back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Marley. And again, just some reminders. Don't fight the current if you do find yourself in a rip current. Swim parallel to the shore to try to escape that rip current. Float or tread water and wave for help. Again, you heard them talk about the strength of that. Certainly not something to underestimate, to be aware of. Be careful if you are heading out to the beaches.